Have you ever wanted to know what this white pull-out plastic sheet is on your flash gun, or when you would use it? It's called a bounce card, and I'm going to show you just how useful it is when taking portraits indoors. If you're shooting in low light, you have three options. You can use a tripod and a long shutter speed. You can whack up the ISO, or you can add more lighting. For shots of people, a slow shutter speed is a non-starter, so you just end up with a blurred shot. Increasing the ISO is a better option, but gives a grainy image with little choice over aperture or shutter speed. Adding light to the scene is therefore often the most sensible solution. At weddings and parties, say, the simple answer is to use flash, but you need to resist using the pop-up flash. This will brighten up the scene, but the results are less than flattering, as your subject looks like a rabbit caught in the headlights. A hot shoe flash gun is a better option. You can still move around the room quickly, but it does not have to point directly at the subject. Instead, you can bounce a flash off a ceiling or a wall, and this then reflects onto the subject. As the light is spread out more, it becomes softer and more diffuse, creating a more natural looking result. But bouncing the flash means that the light has further to travel, so more power is needed from the flash gun. You don't need to work out how much more, as the camera can work this out for you. Before starting to bounce, it's worth putting in a new set of batteries. Then I recommend increasing the ISO to around 400. This will help the flash recycle faster and make the batteries last longer. Set the camera to manual mode and use a shutter speed of around a 60th of a second, and dial in a wide aperture. A setting at f5.6 or f4 is ideal on this 18 to 55mm kit zoom, as it ensures the background is slightly out of focus. I'm setting the modes on the flash to ETTL, so although I am using manual exposure, the camera will actually calculate the flash power for me and do the whole exposure. Now I need to angle the flash to bounce off a suitable surface. A white or near white wall or ceiling is best. Here the ceiling looks ideal. The amount you need to tilt the flash will depend on the height of the ceiling and the distance of the subject. For a typical head and shoulder shot, between 75 degrees and 90 degrees will do. If you have time, experiment with the angle. If there's a wall behind you or to the side, rotating or tilting the head can provide even better results. Focus on the subject's eyes and then shoot. Check your results and use a histogram to check the exposure. If the shot is too light or too dark, use flash exposure compensation to increase or decrease the amount of flash power. So where does this bounce card come into it? My shots are already looking more natural than a direct flash shot. But as usual with straight bounce flash, the lighting is a bit too even, and this creates a bland looking portrait which lacks any sparkle. To get even better results, use a bounce card found built in to many flash guns. This pull-out plastic sheet ensures that some of the light bounces straight onto the subject's face, complementing the main bounce flash with a second, more direct light source. This creates a more three-dimensional effect and provides sparkling catchlights in the subject's eyes. If your flash doesn't have a bounce card, don't worry. You can make one by simply using a piece of cardboard attached to the flash gun with a rubber band. If you don't have one of these with you, cupping your hand around the flash or using a piece of paper can prove almost as effective.